Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
A pleasure.
I'm Melissa.
Melissa, my name is Renbert Mortimer.
So, Rambert, what are we going to do today?
Today we're gonna have fun. Caricatures, drawing, and drinking.
I'm drawing along. Ooh, you said the magic word. So, I'm drawing along with you.
Yeah.
And this, it's art and entertainment. Hi, and welcome to an all-new season of A&E Showcase. I'm Melissa. Now, this season promises to be an exciting one. We have new artists and creatives showing off their creations. We have more entertainment as we introduce you to some more of our recording artists and musicians. And of course, we cannot forget the fashion arts and its designers, the culinary arts and the chefs. So you won't want to miss a single episode. Now, coming up in this episode of A&E Showcase, as you saw from the beginning of the show, I went to visit caricature artist Renbert Mortimer II, and we had a good talk about caricatures. Also, I had a very lively and fun conversation with the Essence Band. And then I went and got a sneak peek at some artwork by artist Navarro Newton. We talked for a bit, and we even got a chance to belt out a tune. See what I told you? This new season of A&E Showcase is already off to an awesome start, and it all begins right after this.
I am an all-around busy person, but I'm also a foodie. Bahamian food is a delightful fusion of flavors and techniques passed down, and over time has evolved into unique and delicious meals. It takes simple ingredients, and it turns into something special. So if you're a foodie like me and don't like spending all day in the kitchen, but want great food, fast, simple, and tasty, then join me as we dish it up.
Welcome back. Renbert Mortimer II is an artist, and art is how he expresses himself. But he is mostly known for Wayne heads, his whimsical caricatures done at weddings, parties, and other celebrations. Now, when I first ran into Renbert a few years back, he was drawing caricatures at the airport. And so we were trying to decide between Moses parting the Red Sea or Adam and Eve in the garden. Nonetheless, he drew apples in my hair, right? I still love my caricature. Now, recently, I got another opportunity to catch up with Renbert again, and this time we had the opportunity to sit and talk. And he told me about his journey in the world of caricatures, and of course, while we talked, he drew another caricature of me. Hey, it's just the perks of the job. So when I arrived at Premier Crew on Gladstone Road, Renbert was graciously awaiting me. After introductions, he grabbed 2 wine glasses and a bottle of wine, and we made our way to his work loft. Perks of the job. To get the conversation started, I wanted to know what exactly is a caricature?
So the thing about the art form of caricature is it's my expression of what I'm seeing. And a lot of people think of it as a portrait, right? So I'm just gonna draw a portrait of you, and portrait photorealism is more exact. Caricatures aren't just about likeness, which is portrait, it's about exaggeration, and then the true beauty, is you get to feel people, their spirit, their soul, their being. You get to make them laugh and change their emotions in 5 to 10 minutes. So foundationally on this drawing right here, this is my style, right? But what I'm gonna do is gonna soften that, and I'm actually gonna exaggerate. I'm gonna give you a real caricature, which Bahamians don't like. However, that's your business, you're getting it today. And
can you at least give me a Michael Jackson nose? Give me a Michael Jackson
you
nose.
Let me be myself, Mom. I don't need you to restrict my creativity.
Yes.
Your eyes can be big and puffy, your nose big, your hair looking like the beach. Let's do this.
Renbert Mortimer II is a creative leader. He mentors emerging artists, helping them to use their God-given talents. He has been an inspirational speaker for over 15 years, speaking to thousands of young people right here in the Bahamas and in the United States of America. He is the chief graphic designer for RGM2, Waynehead Productions. It's a marketing concept, design, and animation company. He's the only in the Caribbean and Bahamian registered under the International Society of Caricature Artists. He credits his father for his creative gifts.
So my dad was an artist. I always watched him draw. He would paint for our church backgrounds, and he was a mural artist. So even sharing the same name as him, I've gone to like San Salvador, I've gone to Andres, and art teachers want to see me because they think I'm my dad. You know, and then when they see me so young, they be like, "Oh, you his son." So like my dad is the foundation, my inspiration, and everything from there is just God-given.
How did you, at some point in your life, separate yourself from the artwork he did and the artist that you would become?
It was a competition in my head at first. Seeing my dad's work, I always wanted to beat him, be better than him. You know, he's my Superman. So for me as a caricature artist, being a part of the International Society of Caricature Artists, I've been introduced to thousands of artists with different styles. So we all can look at one thing and have so many different perspectives of it, from angles to twists to feel. And then to mature as an artist is to find your style.
While pursuing his dreams of his own company, Rambert worked at the Atlantis Hotel for 6 years. But it was a particular drawing that was the impetus for him diving full-fledged into his destiny.
It was drawing Howard. He was the CEO of Atlantis at the time. And when I came in as a pool attendant, I had made a subconscious goal that I will one day draw the CEO of Atlantis and they will ask me to get that drawing. He came in, he was rebranding the Atlantis, he talked about the soul of tourism, and I did this rendition of him with Droid and Atlantis in the background. A little bit of digital, but I based it off a foundational hand sketch. And I posted it and I sent it to him by email. And he says to me, "I love this. Tell your managers I need to see you. During your lunch, come up. I want this in my place."
Wow.
And for me, that was like an indicator in my head, like it's time to leave the hotel. I never quit the hotel because I didn't love it. I loved the hotel. I loved Atlantis, right? I quit because I had already made a goal with myself. My goal here is to draw the CEO. And on that day when I drew the CEO, I quit. I was like, I done. That was my purpose.
Rambert will be the first to admit that it wasn't easy, but his gift of art has always opened doors for him and sustains him. He continues to persevere, to grow his company, and to help other young artists succeed. And even though he's still young, he says that he's contented.
I can say at the age of 33, if the Father was to take me home, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine with it.
You're satisfied?
Yeah. I know that people be like, "Oh, don't say that, knock on wood." No, I actually believe in God. I'm not gonna knock on wood, that's superstitious. But I'm saying, like, that's how we're supposed to be living. When I go to sleep at night, I am tired because I work hard. When I get up, I'm excited because I get to do it again.
Now that's what I call real love for what you do. So what about my caricature?
3, 2, 1.
I can look now?
You can look now.
I can look now?
Yeah, you can look. You can look. So keep looking. Keep looking. Keep looking. Good. 6 more.
Why does this look like the witch from Snow White who's trying to make me?
Stop.
Okay, it's not done yet. It's not.
Stop
It's
that.
coming along. It's coming along.
Please
It's
capture
coming
all of
along.
this. This is nice. But this is it. And even like,
You gave me straight teeth. I am so appreciative of that.
I know how to get it.
Listen, this is mine and I'm going to take it home. I love it. And my father thanks you for the straight teeth. I love it.
All right, all done.
Nice.
Congratulations to the happy couple. Divorce is fault-based, so meaning that either the husband or the wife has to be at fault.
I am simply saying a divorce actually takes your dollar and cuts it down to 50 cents.
Not all the time.
I'm just saying, on a dissolution of the marriage, the parties are obviously going to go their separate ways. The question is, who is going to move out of the house and who will remain in the house? So there are several options available.
Should he be made to still maintain that child who's been in the marriage? Or that
Absolutely
child
and unequivocally.
Really, Alex?
I give advice and I tell people, I want you to know at the beginning, it is a traumatic event.
Welcome back. Now, if you've ever been to the Grand Hyatt Hotel at Bahamian and visited the jazz bar there, then you would definitely be familiar with this group because the Essence Band is synonymous with Bahamian. And they have been from the time they've been performing there, and they have always left their audience satisfied, but always wanting more. And their popularity grew every week. To say that they are good seems like an understatement, but they really are. How good are they, you may ask? Sometimes, while they're performing, guests of the hotel would watch them and would be so impressed by their performance that they would invite and pay the band to come to their country to perform. Now, I don't know about you, but that is what I call good. Now, I caught up with the Essence Band at their Humble Den studios and had a very lively and interesting conversation with them. And let me tell you, these guys are just as much fun to be around and to talk to.
So the Essence Band was formed in 2018. We actually started as a part of another band called the Jam Session Band. That's when we actually started first at Bahamian. We were only 3 people. Myself was Carissa Smith, and at that time it was Mark Knowles. We've gone through a lot of changes since then. Right now we are currently at about 9 group members. It's crazy. So we started then, and then we became the Essence Band about a year after, and everything else is history.
So for such a young band, the music that you play has a very wide range from genres to the years, you know. So where do you get your inspiration from, number one? How do you even know this music? Because y'all is biddies. Let me just say that. So where does it come from? Where does it come from?
First of all, we're all music lovers, and music has no age. It's kind of timeless. You know, once a good piece of music is made, it goes forever and ever. So we're just lovers of music, and that's what actually, we share music with each other, and that's kind of what propels us to discover more in time, back in time from the past and stuff like that. And we like to challenge ourselves to see if we can make people feel the time of the music.
That kind of music has shaped the culture of music now. Yes, a lot of variations, but that was when musicians like us who care about the music were pouring out into the music. That's how you felt with age group or which century the music was in, because of how they spoke through the music. And so we can't learn it off of the music of today, but if we go back in the 70s, 60s, like, we could feel this. We could feel this music. So.
You are the female in the midst of all of these men.
I bring the softness, I think.
Yes, I think you do. What's it like working with Dion and Victor and Jermaine, the entire crew. What's it like?
It's honestly been a beautiful experience. You know, I think they understand that I'm the only female and I feel things differently. So they're very, even though they're very straightforward with me, they're also very protective of how I would feel. So I could feel the love from all of them, even in their correction. It's a beautiful thing. I enjoy it very much.
Okay, what's it like to get up on a stage and be sometimes as sultry and seductive as you are? What do you have to do in preparation?
It's crazy because I do nothing. It's really crazy. Well, I was in a National Youth Choir.
She just woke up like that.
I woke up like this. But Mr. Adley always taught us to fake it until we make it, or just when you get on stage, become someone else, because it's not about you in that moment. So I would often just throw my cares to the side and just be a happier version of myself, because it's not about me. I'm here to entertain the crowd.
So talk to me about being a saxophonist. Like, where'd you get your start?
Yeah, I grew up in music. My dad was a musician, or is a musician. So this is all I ever saw myself doing. I mean, along with some other things, but music was always going to be part of my life. And so I came up in the National Youth Orchestra as well. I played with the National Youth Choir before she was ever there. Played and toured, recorded with people like Ronnie Butler, Fred Ferguson, the like. So I've been around a bit. And so I came into Essence, started filling in first for Toriano Barrett, who was in the band, and was also actually a former student of mine too. And so I was always a fan of Essence before coming in, and so I started filling in, and then I filled in permanently for him. It's been an exciting 3 years so far that I've been with the band.
Been that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
3 years in 3 years August.
Let's go.
With all that's going on with the Essence Band, from their performances at Bahamian to weddings and parties and ever-increasing invitations to perform internationally, someone has to manage it all and keep this bunch in line. That task falls to Jaton Martin, the band's manager. Jaton, I don't know how you manage, because you have softness over here and you have the circus behind you. How do you manage?
I manage because I've been living with the circus most of my life. Victor is my younger brother, and I've known Jermaine since he was about 12. So I am used to them.
You're the perfect person to manage the circus. What's in the band's future? I'm asking you as the manager.
Lots more travel, as they've said, the music, producing our own music, and getting a lot more exposure, especially the bigger band. The additional members that we have are spectacular in their own right. And because of spacing, we can't showcase them at Bahamian, but we do lots of weddings and other private functions where people are blown away by the 9-piece or 8-piece band.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's Mansa, Carlano, and Siobhan.
Those are the other members
And Kristen.
that are not here. Yes. Those are the other members who
Christian
are not here.
as a bassist, Travis as a lead guitarist, Javon as an additional or auxiliary keyboardist, and Mansa as a trumpet, and Carlano on trombone.
So if you are ever in the Grand Hyatt Hotel at Bahamian on a Monday, a Wednesday, or even a Friday evening, and you want to be thoroughly entertained, go check out the Essence Band. You won't be disappointed.
And we are the Essence Band.
I can see it. I can feel it. Grand Bahama, the bounce back. You have a clear vision.
Yeah.
What is it that you hope this show will do for the island of Grand Bahama and indeed the people here on this northern island?
It will do exactly what bad news does. It will versus that and let people know that all hope is not lost.
In the person of the Honorable Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, right? He's doing an excellent job.
I'm seeing major hotels. I'm seeing large cultural shows.
It's time for us to actually invest before we can ask someone to invest.
There's a greater good, and there is something bigger than me and you.
Welcome back. So he's a poet, he's a singer, a songwriter, a visual artist, and a designer. Those of you who are followers and fans of the Bahamas National Youth Choir would remember him during his time with them. His name is Navarro Newton. And while he was working on some of his artwork in preparation for his upcoming exhibition, I paid him a surprise visit, and he was very accommodating. We talked about his childhood, his creative gifts, his dreams, his upcoming art exhibition. And of course, those of you who know Navarro know that you cannot hang out with him without belting out a tune. And so we did. Awesome. Good to see you.
I'm a little moist.
You're a little
moist, bear with me.
There's Bahamian summers,
Yeah,
right?
summer months.
Awesome. So, arts and entertainment, we are here today. We're visiting you. And I'm gonna have to join you with that tune a little later on. But we can talk about what's going on here.
Absolutely.
And how you arrived at that song.
Absolutely.
And I perhaps want to draw and sing with you.
Oh, you're into that?
Yes.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do it. Navarro was raised in Andros with 3 siblings and his parents. As a youth, he enjoyed the natural wonders that Andros offered. To him, it was a majestic place. He calls it the cradle of his creativity. It was in Andros that Navarro discovered and nurtured his artistic abilities.
So in grade 1, I was always like doodling. And one day specifically, I remember we were drawing like these muscular men. It was like a competition among all the students, girls and boys, just drawing. And somebody's like, play that hard, talking about my work. And I was like, it is hard, it's fire. And from then, I was just drawing. Interestingly enough, so my first grade, I was in Nicholstown Primary. And then for the second grade, I moved to Mastic Point Primary, which is my father's homestead. So everybody and their mother knew who my dad was. We went to the church there. And interestingly enough, I met a first cousin that I didn't know about previously. And they moved right next to us. And I remember the first time we met, he was like, "Is your cousin, babe?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he was like, "Hey, you could draw." So I say, "Yeah, I could draw." And they had this big assembly area at a Mastic Point Primary School. And he was like, "Let's draw then. I bet you I could beat you drawing."
That was a duel.
That was a duel, and the duel never stopped. Because he was better than me at that point. But they moved right next door to us on the highway. And every other day, every weekend, all day, we're drawing.
As good as you are, is this enough to sustain you and to carry you?
Right now, no. Does it matter? In some way. I've been fortunate enough to have multiple careers alongside my visual art and my singing. So I'd have a full-time job. And I had a conversation with another fellow artist. And he said to me, "You know, Navarro, I'm very fortunate that I'm able to work, pay for my materials, and not have to consider, will this piece be bought for my livelihood?" So I think in the works, you'll see there's a lot of, I wanted to do this. You can see this internal drive versus a money grab, which can be very easily done, but it lacks integrity sometimes. And I understand that, like, yeah, we're out here, we want to live and we want to grow and benefit from our art. And I get it. I, however, have a very tough time just living off my art. And I think for me, there's a bit of validation in like, you're doing what you want to do, and that's good enough.
So Navarro gave me just a little sneak peek of some of his artwork that will appear in his upcoming exhibition, Narcissist. You tell me, where do we start with this labyrinth? Where do we go, step by step?
Okay, so this is one of my pieces from my previous show in 2020. It's called Channeling Chronos. I did it at the Current, and it was about pouring into oneself, how we replenish ourselves every evening. And this became those up there. A few years later, I had the opportunity to get some space here at Project Ice. Mr. Roberts was kind enough, Antonius Roberts was kind enough to invite me into the space along with Reagan Kemp and Keith Thompson. So I've been sharing this space with them, and I really wanted to work on a series about how I'm responsible for my actions, taking responsibility for oneself, how we engage with oneself. So the pieces up here were the first two, and the idea is the willful blindness, the covering of our own eyes, also the exaltation of ourselves, how we talk to our friends, how we talk to prospective partners, how we talk to prospective businesses about ourselves. Do we lift ourselves up? Do we hold ourselves in? Do we push ourselves down? And usually it's us that's holding ourselves back. Yes. So it's very introspective. I went from those to this, to this, to this, to this, to this. And these are all conversations I'm using myself as an avatar. I'm preparing for a show in November called Narcissist. It's actually my birthday, which is again another layer.
Interesting theme. And we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in just a minute. What I noticed you did throughout all of the pieces, you kept the yellow, which represents light in a sense.
Absolutely.
And in several pieces, like this one here, you know, mask off. There are two faces that you can actually put on, but there's light behind it. The mask is off here again, and light, it's being exchanged between two persons. You take the dome off the top of the head, and once again, you see this light. So what is it with you and the light?
There's this idea of awareness, of being a halo, a circle of light around the head. And awareness is just knowing. It's not a forced knowledge, it's a knowledge that you have inside. Ideally, I wanted that blue, the black, and that gold to be a big portion of it because I myself am a Bahamian man. And I think I wanted to play with how those colors exist in my life. So that yellow is awareness, that's the light. The blue is the waters, and it's also the depths of a person. And the black is me. When we were having independence celebrations, someone said, "You're not wearing independence colors." I said, "I am the black of the flag. I wear it every day. I exist as it." And I think that's something that we as Bahamians unfold every day.
Baby, I can make you come.
So remember when I told you that Navarro was a singer? It is a gift that he cherishes and will never let it fall by the wayside.
Things I would tell you.
Using this interview as an opportunity, I got a chance to sing along with him.
To hold you when I am gone with somebody new. Although you don't want me now. Although you don't want me now, I'll get along somehow, and then I won't want you.
So you see, I told you this season was going to be exciting. Wasn't it a great show? Well, I certainly enjoyed it, and it's only going to get better. So don't forget to tune in next time for A&E Showcase.